Hello and welcome to the Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
I'm Jason DeRoss.
That was so loud, and I apologize. I apologize, everyone. So welcome. It is Friday. We are joined truly with the gem of gems. I mean,
yeah.
This is the MVP, the guru to our lives. I would be nowhere without this woman. I know you are madly in love with them.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like we know if you've listened to this podcast, then you know the love's real.
The love is real. The real talks are even more real, and we've come correct. And so
it's such a day because her name goes with sort of the theme of the day a little bit, which is so fun.
It goes with the theme of the day. And so one and only, let's just bring her out. And that is the amazing Two Little Sandwiches.
Jan Caruana.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. I always love it when I'm with you guys.
It truly is like, it feels like Christmas Day every time you are here with us. And I felt like this Friday we had to do Sips and Subs. We had to.
It's basically because I saw you at some point last weekend.
Yes.
And was like, when are we doing this? I have a lot to say about a very particular sandwich. I want to talk about it.
Yes.
I basically begged to be on the show.
I know. And oh my God.
This is a man in love.
I have a bomb to drop. I have a big bomb to drop.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad Stacey's already like, oh, Jesus Christ. He didn't talk to me about this beforehand.
Okay.
I have I have a physical today in a couple hours, which means I'm in the middle of fasting, which means I can't eat any food.
No, we're fine.
That's okay, Jason. Your health comes first.
What I'm saying is sandwich day to me is like Christmas morning. So I'm sitting watching you guys open presents and I'm going to sit there and go, okay.
Well, there's a couple of things here. We can't all be eating sandwiches because this is a podcast and people are watching us.
I'd listen to that podcast if it was just called Eating Sandwiches. I'd be like, this is great. Yeah, just listen to it on the subway being like, yeah, I get these guys.
Right. Well, it is called Sips and Subs. And I did recently purchase a new type of sip. And I just wanted to bring it to the table. And that is, look how big this bubbly is.
Whoa.
You got a king can of bubbly.
That's a tall boy.
Sexy alert.
Yeah, so I do have a new bubbly.
I'm a little disappointed that Sexy Alert didn't come with wee woo wee woo.
I just played it. Yeah, so my sips is a huge grapefruit bubbly. Everyone. So what's your sips, Jason? Can you drink during the fast?
Water. I can have water. That's all I'm allowed to have. I was like, I can almost put lime in it. I was like, I can't do that, I don't think.
Wow. So Adam, to bring it back to Sips and Subs.
Yeah.
Adam, I thought Jan was like just like sitting with her mouth agape, but I think she's frozen.
Jen's frozen.
Jan's
gone.
back.
Jan's back.
Am I back?
Yeah,
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, but it did freeze with you like this.
It just did look like you were.
That's on brand for me.
Yeah. I did want to say that Adam says that he did get a preview of Jan's strong POV on the sandwich, and we are in for a ride. And let me tell you, we absolutely are. Because Jan and I were at a barbecue together, and Jan revealed her love, her new love, which is the sandwich we're about to break down.
Yeah, it's a new love. It's a true love.
Let's get into it.
Yes. Now we're going to get into it. We're going to do some sips and subs. Also, I just wanted to bring up before we really get into it. Now, Thomas has brought up.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So now the Brandon challenge is happening. Have we gotten a submission? No.
No, but there's so this community is lit up already on our chat. If you're here, of people that are all like, I want to, but I'm a little scared and self-conscious.
And listen, I get that. We're all nervous to yell Brandon. I tried to do it for a job and I didn't get the job. Okay.
I'll say this is a supportive community. You guys know the podcast. We've been practically topless on here showing our loss of weight and progress through Chloe Ting. I think that's as vulnerable as you can get. And we're all supportive of it.
We're all supportive. Not a single person is going to judge a Brandon. If you saw the clip, you know that we can only go up.
Yeah.
I have to say that I was going to do a Brandon. I am like a professional. I have been paid to be on television. I was also shy to do it. But if it helps the community, I'll do it right now.
Great. Yes.
I think that the community would be way better off.
Okay.
We're gonna leave. We're gonna give you the full screen, and you can give us a Brandon. Okay.
Elizabeth's going to do hers after a glass of wine.
Okay, but what's the scenario?
Okay, so this is a scenario. So you are a mom, and your child, a convenience store shelf has just fallen on your child because of an evil child. Okay.
Okay. So a child has pushed a shelf onto my child
with their mind.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. We'll give you space and time.
Brandon. Was that good?
That
did it work?
I thought it was great.
Yes, it was incredible.
I think if you were in the closet of that casting room, they would have been like, okay, very nice.
Booked. They would have been booked and blessed.
No, I'm very much like Stacey, where like occasionally my agent will send me in for a dramatic part, like a real actual part. And I just can't, it sounds like a real flex, but like I just can't not be funny. Like I just have that face.
Me too.
Where it's like the president killed my son and everybody's like
No, I will say that I hear what you're saying. I'm listening to it, although you did make me cry almost every night with you and Jason's scenes together. Last Egg was truly one of the most beautiful scenes, and I cried all the time.
That's because I had such a wonderful scene partner.
That's because I had such a wonderful scene partner.
And I am also here. I thought this soundbite would be better, but it's so quiet. So everyone just be quiet. Just tell me how listen how quiet this is.
We woo.
It's like
it was a bit louder that time.
Oh, is it? Okay. I messed up. No, you guys are really beautiful together. And Julie just says, Jan really just transported me to a grocery store.
Well, we were looking for convenience stores, so I'm sorry, miss. You have to leave the casting room.
It's all about the details, specificity.
Close, but no surprise.
Classic.
We were thinking beef jerky. It seemed like you were thinking loaves of bread.
Speaking of which, let's get into the Sammy talk. You truly are the most culinary of all our friends. I know Jason thinks he's a good cook, but Jameson said he just submitted to the challenge.
I love it.
Wow. Okay, well, this is a surprise. We'll have to wait till the end to see what it is.
Yeah, so just so people know too, we want people to submit this weekend, and then maybe we'll show like our top 5 on Monday or something.
Okay. I wanted to present this as like a logistical conversation because I think Jan is the most rational person. I think what we should do is do a Brandon challenge.
Yeah. And
the winner gets a $25 gift card to Subway.
Well, then I want to redo mine.
Okay, well, you can.
But you have to submit it. You have to submit it.
Okay.
And we'll give you and then the winner gets a $25 gift card to Subway. That you could get one sub and like the best sub.
Or you could get 2 terrible subs.
Totally. Or you could get the best sub with like a full drink and a cookie and a chip.
Oh. See, that's the thing. How are people going to Subway and not getting the combo?
Let's just jump in.
Absolutely. Can I throw in 2 cents as well? For the bag of chips, I always get Sun Chips, but I won't eat Sun Chips anywhere else. I don't know why, but like there, I'm like, Sun Chips with a Subway sub seems to fit.
See, I go with jalapeno. I go with Miss Vicky's. Yeah,
jalapeno's great. I love hot stuff. Look what it does in my face. But Sun Chips, for some reason,
I didn't bring up your face. Are you proud of me?
I think you were waiting for when you wanted to like lash out. I think that's what you were holding on to.
I did not. No, I did not. But now that we're here, can we get an update on Pimple City?
Oh, like that wasn't sitting there ready? Sure.
This episode.
My face is broken out like crazy. Never before in my life. And I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
It's okay. I was telling Jason what to do, but we'll see what he does.
Put a cold thing on it.
Comes a cold spoon.
Yeah, put a cold spoon on it.
Yeah, cold spoon actually, like ice, get it reduced. It'll save you from the pain because it's really painful.
Yeah. Do you know what else at Subway I get that I don't get anywhere else? Chocolate milk.
Jan was drinking it.
Oh yeah.
Lexi alert.
Yeah, so
Chocolate milk, Sun chips, but I don't normally get the chips at Subway. Subway's all about the sub.
you're wrong. You're wrong.
And then the cookies.
You're wrong. First of all, I get a jalapeno chip. Now, someone who brought it up. Oh, yes. Jenny Cirillo coming in with the baked lays.
Mm.
And I used to get on the baked lays because I thought I was being healthy. With a foot-long cold cut. In what world? Who was I?
I could never eat baked lays because in my mind they were inextricably linked to you might be too young to remember this, everybody, but Alestra was a thing that they were putting into chips in America, like when they baked them to make them taste better.
Really?
Or something. But it gave you it made bad things
herpes.
happen to your body.
Gave you herpes.
No, like in the butt area.
Diarrhea.
Oh,
And
that's okay.
I can't separate the two. It wasn't here in Canada, never here in Canada, but I could not separate the two in my mind.
Exactly. The baked lays, there's something going on, right? Like, I don't know, but I also think Alestra is in Halo Top, and we'll just leave it at that. But
I want to try that Halo Top so bad now since I saw that story.
okay, let me tell you, Halo Top butter tart. Now, Sammy's, I love a butter tart. It is my best. It is the only dessert to me.
Yeah.
Here's what I missed from the Halo Top. I want a raisin, right? They're giving me a walnut. I get it. But I want a raisin.
I feel like this is the one dividing issue in our friendship.
I know.
I'll put them in. If I'm making them for Stacy, I will put them in. I have raisins in my cupboard just for Stacy.
I'm a dirtbag squirrel who's like, it's raisins. I love raisins, but
Yeah, I'm into raisins and baked goods as well.
Okay, well then they're for you too, Jason.
No, but I know that's sometimes that's what's that word? But it's it starts
It's controversial. Yeah.
It's controversial. It's people are like nuts or no nuts. I'm definitely no nuts. Get those fucking nuts out of here. But raisins, I'm in.
Well, not to whatever, but we're having a little birthday party for my brother tomorrow.
Oh,
and
nice.
I made him pecan pie stuffed chocolate cupcakes.
Oh my god.
Which is essentially, as you know, a butter tart.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're making butter tart cupcakes?
So it's a chocolate cupcake, and then inside there's pecan pie filling, like butter tart, and then on top it's like a pecan pie icing with a little pecan on top.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd probably flick that nut off the top of there and then I'd eat the fuck out of that thing.
Jason saying "flick that nut" just made me go a bit like.
Bold face is like, I'm gonna flick that nut.
I'm gonna flick that nut and put that shit in my mouth so fast.
I'm really upset that we have to name this podcast "Flick That Nut." Oh my god!
Wee woo, wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
I'm sorry. I'll make it better for the next episode. Okay, so people are breaking down the combo, and I think this is great. I think we go combo, then we go right down to the sub. That's like the meat and potatoes of the pod. So people are talking about what cookie are we getting at the Subway, and some people are saying oatmeal. Obviously, we're doing white macadamia nut. That's what all we're doing.
I think it depends on the day because sometimes I'll go oatmeal, but then that white macadamia, and then sometimes you need that one with all those colorful M&Ms.
No, you don't. Jan, what are you doing?
I have never. Okay, first let me come clean. I was never like a Subway addict. I like a sub every now and again.
Sure.
I'm constant. I will get the same sub with the same stuff on it every time.
What's your sub?
My sub is the Italian BMT.
Of course.
Got to reach for that old salams. Yeah.
My boyfriend Sheldon will still say to this day, reaching for the old salams. He's never seen that sketch. He didn't know you guys when we were writing those sketches. I told him about it once, and every time Subway comes up, he's like, you're just reaching for the old salams.
So for those who don't know, Jason and I have a scene about Subway. And Jason brought up the Italian BMT and said it feels so special because you get to reach for the old salam.
Because I worked there at the time in that sketch.
So now that's
Yeah.
so
Not often you get to reach for the old salams.
It's so special. It's such a special line. But I will always get the same sub. I will get a chocolate milk because
yep, of course.
I feel like that's just what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to get chips. I'm either going to get the jalapeno or I'm going to get the sweet chili heat Miss Vicky's. And if they don't have either, I'm not getting anything. The whole game is over.
I might get an original. I might do an original Lay's. But
Yeah.
That's for no reason ever.
That's interesting because when I was super broke and only eating Subway, I would get the cold cut footlong, I would get the jalapeno cheddar, and then I would get a chocolate milk because the chocolate milk is just going to satiate you for a very long time. You know?
Yeah, it's a hangover breakfast, basically a sandwich and a chocolate milk.
Yeah, it is a bit of a sad meal. Like, I won't lie. Like, it is a meal that you get when you're like either a bit sad or you just can't. You have no room in your brain for anything else, and you're like, I know this.
Agreed.
I will eat this.
Do you know where love is formed? Subway. I don't know if you saw Claire's comment.
Oh, yeah.
Claire's my husband gave a stranger a free Subway cookie because he worked there, and they've been friends ever since, going on 10 years.
That's
so
adorable.
nice.
I will
also like he got fired though because he just gave away free food.
Oh, he was one of the bakery boys.
Hey man, I know we're gonna be best friends, but I'm sorry I have to do this. I'm actually a secret shopper, and I gotta fire you.
Hey, save that for the stage. That's a good sketch.
This is undercover boss. Can I get a free cookie? Yeah, of course.
You become friends with Jan, and then you give her something free, and you're like, but that means we both have to be fired. I will tell you, there's nothing. I've never seen more like when you see a man walking with a bag of Subway. That it's not great, or anybody.
I know. I would rather carry a bag filled with pornography, a clear bag of pornography, than that long tubular bag with the 12-inch and the chip stuffed in.
Because if someone's late to a meeting and they're holding that, just shut the fuck up about it. They're already at rock bottom. They don't need you on their ass. Okay? Fuck off with that.
I also want to see Jen in like a nice winter coat, earmuffs on, just strolling down with a big bag of porn.
It's filthy stuff. This is not you can't get this at the convenience store.
Just skipping along to Andy Griffith.
Don't mind me just reaching for the old salam, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna flick that nut.
You've got a porn magazine called Old Salams. Yeah.
That is my groove. Like, that is what I'm into.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I will also say this though. Love is formed at Subway because to name drop, I will fully name drop our dear friend Ken Hall. Whenever he would do a show, like an improv show, he's a talented actor, comedian, improviser, human, amazing person. But he would just show up with like a 6-inch. He show up like 3 minutes before we're to go on stage, change his sweater, eat a 6-inch Subway, go on stage, and just be the best. And I recently sent him an email, and I was like, I haven't seen him obviously for 6 months, and I was like, I miss you, Ken. I miss seeing you eat Subway.
Oh. Well, you know who I don't miss seeing eat Subway, and that is our friend Alistair Forbes. And I'll give you this and laugh.
Oh, fuck.
Because he's been on the podcast, and let me tell you, that fucking guy.
It's called locker sub is what it's called.
He would eat a sub.
A bite of the sub.
A bite of a sub.
He'd complain that he's so hungry.
Oh, yeah. He would shove it into one side of his cheek and just sit there. And I remember watching him and just fuming, and then I would just go, eat the sub.
But then he'd be like, I'm just putting it in my locker for later, and then he'd put half of it in, like, it doesn't matter what's on it, mayo, but it's like 2 days later he'd come back and be like, okay, good.
It's disgusting.
I mean, we love Alistair Forbes, but he's a sick man.
He's got problems.
He has major problems. And listen, I hold him the same way I hold my friend who will go unnamed because she didn't ask for this, but she would eat half a chocolate bar and put the other half in the fridge. And I was like, you're a psychopath. Psycho. Half a Snickers?
Yeah. The only time you do that is if you get like those big Toblerone bars. That's the only time that's allowed.
Yeah, if you're doing a Toby,
Just a giant airport Toblerone bar.
One of those ones the size of a baseball bat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope they have room in the overhead because it's not going under the seat. Too big.
My friend Brandon in university. Brandon. He decided just to drink an entire bottle of Carlo Rossi. And if you know those are like bowling ball shaped wines in the liquor store. And he decided in one sitting that he was going to drink a full Carlo Rossi for a day. And people, because in university, you know, you're like, we're going to live forever. We just lined up to go hang out with him while he was drinking it.
Did he have a straw?
No. And you could tell because by the end of the day, his whole face was like stained red. Like red, like kids who drink too much juice.
Just drinking it with two hands.
Just the all right, so let's get into this. So we're talking Italian BMT. Now, you brought something today. I want you to talk about it.
Oh God, this is painful.
So it is painful, Jason. I know it's painful because you can't eat a sandwich, but
I can't eat for another like 4 hours. But I'm so in love right now. I can't wait.
It's also painful for me to admit this, but I love to cook. I love to cook delicious things, but like my palate isn't refined. So I like terrible food. Like I just do. If I could just eat McDonald's without consequence, I would. I don't, but I would. Recently, I think it was like to use the parlance of this podcast, a particularly soft day. I don't know why we got this the first time.
We've never used the word parlance on this podcast.
Well,
to parlance it.
To parlance it. They sell these giant sandwiches at Sobeys. And they're just like a loaf of French bread with, I'm sure, just whatever cold cuts they haven't sold, a very cold tomato and cheese. And they're honestly like this big. And I'm very into them now. I think since I discovered them like a month and a half ago, I've had 3.
What are they, like $7?
They're like $7.
I'm in. But
like, honestly, like you can get a full size, you can get a halfie, or you can get a half of a half.
Yeah.
Occasionally, like if it's like, let's get the big sandwich for dinner, we've gotten the full size and we've eaten like 4 times from it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Sobeys is like Ralph's. They do that here at Ralph's as well. And it's great. I
purchased a sandwich to show you guys. Perfect. I want you to know that I did measure it. First, so this is my cell phone.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it like this. I did weigh it as well. It weighs a full 8 ounces, which doesn't feel like a lot, but it's like, that's heavy.
That's a lot. That's a baby.
This is the sandwich.
Holy shit.
So, it's bigger than my phone.
It looks so good.
This is the inside. Can you all see this?
I can see it. Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
You can see the one like tiny cold tomato.
Yep.
As long as it's not really soft, the tomato.
No, it's like a bit crunchy in a way that's kind of disconcerting. And it's wrapped in cellophane. And as I was telling you, I think part of the experience for me is like kind of still tasting that cellophane on the sandwich.
Oh yeah. Listen, there's something about that just, sorry, go ahead, Jason. I know you're really wrapped up.
I was just gonna say one of the most important parts that's always forgotten with the sandwich is the bun is like the most important part. It's like, are you a crusty bun person? Are you a crusty but soft on the inside? Do you like to eat like, there's so many different kinds of buns, and bun's the most important part.
And here's the thing that I like about it, because I'm not a toaster. Okay, Quiznos, never an option for me.
Get the hell out of here.
Even though on paper Quiznos is superior.
And it's garbage.
But then Mr. Sub is a no thank you, get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Sub is just where people go to make drug deals, right? Like there's no one buys subs from Mr. Sub.
No, they do.
Mr. Sub feels like you walk in and you're like, hey, I'm in Mr. Sub. And Mr. Sub goes, Mr. Sub's my father. Call me Don. And you're like,
oh, that's fucking perfect. Yeah. So but I like that it's not toasted. Are we getting cheese on there? We getting one little single? We getting a little thing of cheese?
If you're making sandwiches without cheese, I get out of here.
Oh, there's some cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what's your life? What's your life if you're having sandwiches without cheese?
I know I'm getting really aggressive when it comes to food, but I think it's like it's
You're gonna go to
important.
the doctor and you're
I
fast.
think you're hungry.
But I grew up with like trash food too, right? Like my mom, before we would go to dance class, would be like, we going to McDonald's, and I would just down a Big Mac meal and then go do ballet.
That makes my stomach hurt just thinking about it.
Of course. And then I was wondering why I was always like, my stomach.
I never felt anything. I'd be like, great, I'd eat a whole meal and then go do something, because you don't equate any of that when you're a child. You're just like, fuck it, man.
Women always have women's bodies, and men have no problem.
Yeah, men are just bowling pins walking around. They don't know what's going on.
I remember, I think I said this on the podcast, but an ex of mine like ate Swiss Chalet, which is like a chicken place or whatever. He had Swiss Chalet at 10 p.m., which is rotisserie chicken, French fries, like gravy. And then at 10 p.m. was like, what's happening to me? My stomach. It's bigger than it usually is. I was like, you're bloated, you piece of shit. Welcome. I had no compassion. I was like, this is what I feel every day. When I'm complaining about my jeans, it's because I feel like that. Here you have Swiss Chalet at 10 p.m. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jason doesn't get it. But I love that sandwich. So now will you and Sheldon split that, or are you guys doing your own?
For the most part, we would split this.
No.
Because
I feel like
it's
I could
very
eat
big.
that. Okay.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I could left alone, I could eat this sandwich.
Oh,
Like
of course.
we've made so many jokes where it's like, do you remember that episode of The Simpsons where they go to Duffland or something and Homer can't go because he's eaten this giant sandwich and it's rotten?
Right.
That's us. We're like, another foot and I can fit it in the fridge. And we're just like, left to my own devices, I could eat the big boy. Like, this is the halfie. I could eat the big boy over the course of a day. But like,
Right.
why would you do that to yourself?
I know. But you know what? Like last night, I made the worst dinner of my entire life. Like it was maybe the worst thing I've ever made.
What was it?
I tried to make peanut Thai veggies and shrimp, but I bought like a pre-made Thai peanut sauce that was absolute trash. And it made all my vegetables, all my shrimp so disgusting that I tried to make rice. I can't make rice. I'm struggling. I watched David Chang try and teach me how to make rice. It still didn't work. It was like gummy rice and I just had to eat it. And then to make myself feel better, I ate chips because it at least tasted good.
Yeah, but the funny thing about like Thai peanut, like all of those like bottled sauces and stuff, for the most part, like they're very easy to just whip up. Like with a peanut sauce, like if you just have a jar of peanut butter at your house and some sesame oil, like you got a peanut sauce essentially.
Last week I made my own for the first time, and maybe everyone does this all the time anyways, but I made my own pasta sauce and I was like, this is as easy as could be. And it tastes way better. It's way fresher.
It's the simplest.
Oh, pasta sauce is the best. Now, Shayla just says, I have a feeling someone is going to tell me to get out of here. But Mr. Sub has a keto bun and I want to try it. Let me tell you.
That's fair.
But right on top of that, we also have controversial opinion, but I like Mr. Sub because their bread always is slightly stale.
I love our chats so much. Like we are each other's peoples, and I love that.
I really feel like I've found my flock here, like in the chat.
Me
like
too.
I'm kind of missing being on the chat because like I kind of can't shit talk you to your face, but on the chat I could be like, Jason.
I mean,
I'd probably do
go.
that.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that in general. But this group is like, this is where we belong, guys. We've really found each other.
Can I tell you, I remember falling in love with subs because I remember the first time I saw and then got a sub because I was at like a T-ball game, and then down the street there's this place called Texas Sandwiches or Texas Submarines or something, and someone walked on with a submarine, and I was like, I thought that was a cartoon. Like I thought that only existed in cartoons. And so right after my parents took me, we got a full sub, and I was like, this is my life now.
It's like when he heard Imagine, he was like, well, I'm done with music. He saw a big sandwich and he was like, well, that's my personality. I'm that man.
Well, I'm giant sandwich guy now, everybody. Say goodbye to old Jason DeRoss.
No, I do like Jenny's comment where she goes, I saw a meme last night that said, why pay $15 on pad thai when you can spend $45 for all the ingredients and make a worse pad thai?
It is true.
This is true.
When I make stuff, I'm always like calculate. This is how dumb I am, but I like calculate as I make it. I'm like, am I doing this for less than just the store bought? Like even with the pasta sauce, I was like, okay, these tomatoes and this garlic and this. I was like adding it all up. I'm like, it's about the same.
Yeah, but the thing about that is like there's a lot of stuff that I won't mess with in the kitchen because I just know that I'm just going to get it better elsewhere.
It's
like
true.
Pad thai is one of those things. Like, but there's also stuff that I would never order in a restaurant because I'm like, I could just make this at home.
Mine is grilled cheese. I will never order a grilled cheese.
That's true.
Like why? Like because
they'll try to make it magic, and you're like, that's not.
And also, again, my trash upbringing, like my trash bag, like palette, I don't want a fancy grilled cheese. I just want Kraft singles and bread. I don't want a fancy poutine. I just want fries and gravy and cheese. I don't want a burger on top of it. Do you know what I mean?
Someone in the chat earlier was explaining why Wonder Bread is the worst, but I'm like, actually, and I was like, yeah, totally. But on a grilled cheese, no problem. You can use Wonder Bread.
Now, do we want to get into what's on our sandwiches? Because I would be remiss if we didn't get in. What are you laughing?
Elizabeth's really getting into me of like how much I love everything. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Jason,
all these things are
in love with pizza, in love with the night, in love with the sub. I thought she said in love with the sub, and that would have been great. In love with this sub. Jason loves everything. Like I've seen Jason get the worst haircut, and he's like, I love it. It's great. This is all I deserve.
No, that's the haircuts when I'm like, I don't know what to do now. Like I can't leave my hairdresser, but
Jason, not to speak of you as if you're not here, but you are like Romeo.
I'll go away.
Oh yes.
No, you stay. Like Romeo is in love with love. Like he sees Juliet and it's just like, damn, I'm in love with this girl. He's known her for 5
I don't know her.
I've
seen her through a fish tank, according to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, exactly. So Jason sees a sandwich across a baseball field and he's like, but soft, what light through yonder window breaks. It is the sub. And Juliet is the moon. It fell apart at the end, but that's Jason.
Yeah, and like Jason, it also fell apart at the end. So
if we had like a little mascot that was our IQ barometer on here, every once in a while it'd be sleeping all the time. But when Jan comes on, it goes, "What? What's going on over here?"
Oh yeah, she definitely elevates.
You guys.
No, you really do. Plus, Jason's love for you is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I've seen his son on this podcast.
Well, it is matched. It is matched in my heart. But just to get back to the sandwich thing really quickly, I think I can't remember if it was either of you, but I think it was one of you that would play like Elevate the Sandwich.
That's when that place opened up near us, and we're all like,
yeah. So let's go ahead.
It's the funnest game, and I play it to this day on car trips.
So I love playing Elevate the Sandwich. So do we want to play a few rounds? And I encourage the chat. And if you're listening to this, it's truly the most fun game to play Elevate the Sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you start with like a bread, then someone adds like. So how I usually play it is I'll be like ham sandwich. Okay. Yeah. Now, Jason, you go.
You know what I'm going to do is. On top of it, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of rosemary on that ham.
Okay. Dried rosemary on the sandwich?
See, I wouldn't do that. I was like, how do you elevate ham?
No, it's just a ham sandwich. So what are you adding to it?
Yeah,
so
I know.
You're just starting with like bread and ham?
Yeah, so you can add what kind of bread?
You could add like a Swiss cheese.
Oh, Swiss cheese is nice. I would make that bread like a rye bread, not a thicky rye, but like a thinny rye.
Yes, hell yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of spicy mustard on that as well.
Okay, great.
Spicy, grainy with the rye, Jay.
And definitely then some kosher dills, sliced kosher dill on there.
Ooh. Okay.
We're just making a Reuben at this point, right?
Well, I'm adding a thinly sliced red onion.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna add some alfalfa sprouts, because it's like rye is so thick. We want
you want to crunch.
I know. Yeah. Jenny
Yeah.
thinks this game is so pure and beautiful.
It's just people talking about sandwiches, and honestly, it's all I ever need.
Didn't we used to do this on road trips in the van? And then like, but right now I'm like, I mean, maybe again, because I haven't eaten and I'm not going to, like, I'm like, I need to make these sandwiches we're talking about. Like that must have been so hard on a road trip. I've been like, I need this fucking sandwich now.
Yeah, and then you'd talk about sandwiches for 2 hours, and then you'd end up at Kelsey's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Although Kelsey's is what was one of like our fancy, we're going out to dinner, kids.
Mhm.
And they have a spinach cheese dip that's to die for. And they like crisp up their pita chips. And let me tell you, I think about it often. Often. So what is everyone's sub toppings? Also, Rob said sun-dried tomato spread. Anyone on the ham? I don't know about that.
I don't usually mess with a sun-dried tomato.
I love it.
I do like a pesto sauce would be good though. Like,
Yeah. So so for my sub, this is what I do, and I've recently mixed it up as I you know, what is the term? I fell off the wagon and had a sub recently. So I go cold cut. Now I'm gonna do a 6-inch, even though I could do a full. But this is what I did. I do cold cut combo. I do although they got rid of spinach at the Subway I was at.
Oh, wow.
who cares?
Do you think it's because of E. coli or something?
It's got to be, or also because it's like expensive and everyone's like, hey, more spinach, right?
I've never said more spinach in Subway.
Yeah. So I'm doing iceberg. I'm looking at the tomatoes, but it is a case by case basis if I'm getting them.
It depends if they're crispy or they're
100%.
soft.
I'm gonna do lettuce. I'm gonna do cukes. I'm gonna do green pepper. I'm gonna do pickle. I'm gonna do onion, little bit. Okay, because maybe I'm gonna kiss later. I'm also doing a bunch of green olive, which everyone's always like, what? And I'm like, green olive.
More.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna do the house dressing, and then I'm gonna do a mustard, and I'm gonna put it on a honey oat, or I'm gonna get nasty with it, and I'm gonna do an Italian urban cheese.
Italian urban cheese.
Yeah,
always.
not toasted. And I'm like the bakery boy known as Adam Colley. Am I gonna rip out the bread in the middle? What are you doing, Jay? Oh, avocado's not available in Canada. We know. We're like, no. In LA, you can get avocado.
I have two that I go to, and I would never get a 6-inch. So I'm very stoked that you would do that because that's probably the smart thing to do.
No,
but like
this because you eat the 6 and you go, I could have eaten another 6
for sure.
Always
but I'll get
so
if it's whatever day it is. If it's the meatball day, I'll get the meatball. But other than that, it's Italian BMT, and then you just make it pizzas essentially. So you get the Italian urban cheese, definitely green olives. Sometimes the lettuce, but then I'm like, if you get the lettuce, you're like, literally, you have to say it to them so straight, like literally, like the tiniest bit of lettuce, because they go tiny. Okay, ooh.
You're like, just let the lettuce kiss the bun. I want a whisper of lettuce.
I'm gonna knock that lettuce off of there. Knock that nut, but like flick that lettuce off. But then, so what else? If it's the meatball, like that's basically all I need is just give me that cheese, meatball, green olives, and go. But if it's the other one, then I'll put like a mayo and a mayonnaise on, or a mayo and mustard on there too.
Okay, that sounds good.
Good.
It is really funny how no matter how nice you want to be, and I have been in food, like I have worked fast food, I've worked in restaurants, like, so I try and be the nicest because those jobs suck. But everyone always shows their full frustration out of the way. Like that Subway artist is getting yelled at every transaction because it's like a little bit of mayo, little bit. I said little bit. Okay. Like you just get.
Is that the light? I don't think that's the light. It doesn't have the sticker on it. Lady, you're ordering 12 inches of bread and meat. You're concerned about the light?
I know.
And a Diet Coke, please.
Totally. With whip. Yeah.
Adam Colley's in the chat. He said, if you want some lettuce, just say no lettuce, and you'll still get some lettuce.
It's so Brandon. It's true.
It's like when you went to the beach 3 weeks ago and you're still finding sand in your backpack.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. So Jan, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm doing foot-long Italian BMT on the cheese bread, the Italian cheese bread. I'm getting lettuce.
Yep.
I'm getting the cheddar cheese.
Damn.
I'm getting lettuce, cheddar cheese, cucumber, red onion. May or may not get a pickle. I may do the pickle on the side because sometimes it's too much flavor.
Yep.
I'm doing a light mayo and I'm doing a little bit of sub sauce.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a good sub.
I can't really mess with a mayo. I don't know what it is. I have a problem with soppy bread. Like my mom would make sloppy joes almost to punish me. I asked her one day, I was like, do you hate me? Because this is disgusting. It's just soaked fucking bread. I can't with it.
Yeah, anybody that's like, I just bought this sub for later, get the fuck out of here. That's going to be a bag of mush.
Yeah, a sub for later is you should go to jail right away.
Well, let me tell you, that's why I enjoy this, because it doesn't get soggy. Like there's something about it. They've put it through a nuclear device where it's like, this will stay good forever in your fridge.
Do you remember News Radio and Phil Hartman? So one of my favorite episodes is when they're getting rid of the sandwich vending machine. And Phil Hartman's like, no, like he loves the sandwich machine. And then they're like, those sandwiches are rotten. And he's like, he loved it. He loved that they were rotted.
And the egg salad is like crunchy.
Yeah.
He like bites in, it's like...
Then he goes, just like Mama used to make. So good. Yeah. We miss you. I remember like when he passed and my dad and I found out over the radio and we both had to be silent. And my mom was like, get over it. Like she was like, what's with you two? And we were like, Phil Hartman died. We were so sad.
Yeah.
I think I remember where I was. I was actually working at Godiva Chocolate at the time.
Damn.
I think. And then I just needed to go on like a little break.
Oh yeah. It was so sad. Only on the regulars can we go from an Italian BMT to the unfortunate passing of comedy legend and icon Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
That's how we would have wanted it.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. Yeah, no, it's really funny about Subway though. And I know we joke, but Sips and Subs is such a good idea because everyone has a sub. Like,
are we doing this again next Friday? Are we doing another one?
Do you want to do? Oh, Jason. Everyone in the chat.
He wants to eat a sub.
I want to eat a sub so bad.
He wants to eat a 9:30 a.m. sub.
You know, when you're always asked that question, you're like, well, what if you were about to be executed? They're like, what's your last meal? I'd be like, oh, fuck. Like sandwiches got to be in there sandwiches is there for sure.
For what?
Last meal.
Last meal.
Pierogies, pizza, sandwiches. Like you're done. That's perfect. I don't have to worry about weight. I'm going to eat all of it.
Sorry, Jameson was just in the chat and I didn't quite, but I think he's on Phil Hartman. He says he was in the car with Reed Janice on their way to to be Star Trek characters at Wonderland.
Wow, that is a deep ass cut.
That's layered.
I think that dad is crying. What's happening, Dad?
Now let me ask this: was this for were you like fluffy characters, or were you doing like a weird science show?
Yeah, please let us know because
were you just going to Wonderland and you guys were two old men walking around as Star Trek characters in Canada's Wonderland?
Two old men walking around.
Well, I say old because just not kids, like 5-year-olds going on rides.
Even as a kid, for me, even at Wonderland, I was just like, that's not them. Like,
you're not Santa.
Oh my God, totally. My mom would be like, go get pictures. I would dread getting pictures with Santa. He'd be like, what do you want? I'd be like, what do you want, man? Not this.
Where are you at?
Dude, like, not to be fucking rude about it, but like, you seem young. What the fuck?
Stacey got banned from all mall Santas because there were too many suicides.
I don't know. I think there was one that you probably like. He left that day and was like, I'm using this theater degree. I am making myself known today, and then went out there and
let the river run.
My mom thought
goes out, tosses off the hat, tosses off the beard, and then a bunch of kids go, no.
and I stand there and go, finally, you are yourself. No, lick that nut and kiss that granny. Yeah, I just felt so sad for those Santas. I was like, they don't want this life. And when they're on break, I was like, they're not in that hut. But it's like, that fake house, and they're like, that's where Santa is. It's like he's smoking in the back with my mom.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I went to Malta last December, so just before Christmas. And if you've been to Malta, it's one of these things, like, if you know, you know. Like, Maltese people, they're very nice, but like, it's not like here.
Barbara was from Malta.
Barbara was from Malta, which I took as a personal shout out. But they had like this Christmas village. I think it was like the first year they did it. And I swear to God, the Santa was smoking.
Of course.
He was like, oh, Peppo, shitrete lum. And the kid's just like, huh?
I understand that implicitly. Like, we would always have.
I want the bread and I want the toys.
Santa, tini zauch pastizzi.
You'll get it.
That was always creepy when Santa was like, if you're good. I was like, I'm good. If I'm good. Tonight, because I'm going home and I'll be in bed by 7:30. What are you gonna do, Jeff? Tell me to be good. My mom's a piece of shit. You don't even know her.
Weren't you the sub for my art class 2 weeks ago?
I had to draw your face. What's the matter with you?
I want that art teacher that's like, okay, so today we're learning the human figure. Draw me. Yeah, just start something.
Oh, the instructor says, draw me. I had a teacher, a writing teacher, who made us critique this poem, and he goes, "You want to hear something crazy?" And we were all like, "This thing sucks," but he goes, "That was mine."
Was he doing it as like a way to be like, you all have to write a poem, let's read this poem, and then it was like, see, I sucked too? Or was it just like, they're gonna love this?
I think it was also a lesson in that you're always going to receive criticism, and it's and it's not personal. It's just how everyone's
except
perception.
that teacher went away and cried like
For
crazy.
sure.
No, there's no way. He was hot as hell. We were like obsessed.
We will.
He's hot as hell, but then imagine him reading that poem to you, and then you're like, oh, okay.
That's so.
Just to follow up, Jameson, Reed was a Ferengi. I don't know Star Trek. If someone else can read this,
Ferengi.
Yeah,
I think it's a race. Isn't like Ferengi like a not a person but a thing?
They had those big brain heads, right? Is that them?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that was the Klingons. I don't know Star Trek.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know Star Trek. My brothers never watched it, and I only watched Star Wars when I was like in my 20s.
Me too.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, it was not a thing. Yeah. Oh, so there's an infamous story about the castle. Santa hungover. He puts a kid down off his knee, walking into the green room, opening the window on the third floor of the castle, and just barfing. See, that's a Santa I can get behind. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, at Casa Loma.
Of all places.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but also who is just like, all right, kids, get in the car. We're going to go see Santa at the castle, Casa Loma.
People
Everyone.
do it. It's very popular.
Super
Really?
popular. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think people make it like a Christmas event. So you go and you do all the whatever.
I remember my mom would guilt me into so many Santa photos until I was like too old to be doing it. Like you can see like at their house, like the progression, and I just look like a businesswoman. Like it's so like, first of all, I was always tall and I just had the vibe of like someone who's like only 20 years till retirement, like always. And you just see me just like the last photo, I'm like in a business vest and a collared shirt by my own choosing. Okay?
What would you like for Christmas? The Diane Lane collection, please.
Like for Christmas, my parents to pay the mortgage on time.
Just put some money in my RRSP.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A cup of coffee a day. We just remove that. You and I, Jeff, we wouldn't be at this fucking particular Dufferin Mall getting our photo taken. Wash your face. You've got mustard on your sleeve.
Oh, Jeff.
I hate to say this, but I have to, I didn't tell you before, Jan, but I do have to get my hair dyed. And I have to leave. We have to cut this a bit short today.
Which is crazy because your hair looks more red than ever today. I don't know if it's the light. Yeah.
Maybe it's just saying, I'm going to be different soon. Goodbye, everyone. This part's great. It's all of this up to the top. So Jan, I'm going to put your socials up. I'm sorry that this is so short. We'll have
That's
to
okay. I had a great time.
Maybe you'll come back next Friday and we'll do a proper sips and subs.
Do you want to bring it up before you leave? Do you want to bring up the picture only because I did say that I would bring it, so I don't want people to think that I chickened out. I'm vulnerable and I'm here.
That was the most genuine thing you've ever said.
I didn't mean it.
Okay, so let's get into Jason's photo before we say goodbye. Okay, so we're gonna show it. Here we go.
It goes the opposite way this time. But do you see what I mean?
You look so happy in that first one.
You look so much smaller in the third one.
I think the middle one is like the last one, I didn't realize how out of focus it was, but like.
Okay, first of all, I'm proud of you for getting at least 2 photos in HD.
Yep. The last one's in HD. I think I was just moving because I was like, well, here it is. Here it is, world. Here you go. So my hand's like moving.
I think that you're obviously smaller in the third one.
Okay. And it's still going. Chloe Ting, baby. Loud and strong.
Loud and strong, I don't think is a thing, but loud.
It might be.
Live strong. Live strong.
Live strong.
Live strong, Lance Armstrong.
Live strong, Lance Armstrong. You look great. I think that you're not seeing yourself.
No, maybe not.
Jason is see, look at Adam says he's proud of you, and Elizabeth says you look awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, Adam Collier inspires me. So
awesome. Sneaking goes, there you go. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to cut this short. I have to go get my hair dyed. I did call to see if they could push it. They said no. I'm still going to be 10 minutes late.
Go. The sooner you go, the sooner I can eat this sandwich.
Oh God, you could have eaten it the whole time.
I would never.
I'm going to next Friday.
Well, next Friday, Sammy's will be back if she can make it, and we will do a proper sips and subs. Bring any of your sub questions. Again, we have the Brandon challenge. Submit them over the weekend. The winner, we will send you, wee woo, a $25 gift card to Subway sandwiches that we've paid with our own monies.
So how do they send it? They just put the challenge on. They just tag us in the.
All you have to say is Brandon. Okay, your son. You're concerned for your son.
Mm-hmm.
Tag us at the Regulars podcast, or you can and hashtag it the Brandon challenge, so we can
be as creative as you want, or just do it.
And just to be clear, no pervs now or ever will be considered. Mm-hmm. But have fun, and then you can have the sub of your dreams, much like Two Little Sammys. There you go. Perfect. We will see you all on Monday. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Little Sammy.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Bye.
Thanks.